guys, welcome back here to today's episode of Intuitive Angling. Appreciate you guys joining me for today's episode. And guys, today I want to talk about sort of the magical, wonderful thing that happens once the water temperature hits that magic 55 degree mark in the springtime of the year. Depending upon what part of the country you're in, you may be into that right now. If you're in my part of the country, it's usually sometime in March. It depends on the weather patterns. But, every geographical part of the country has the specific time where your water temperature first reaches that 55 degree mark. And guys, there's something that happens when this takes place that you need to take advantage of. And I'm going to share it with you guys in today's video and, just talk to you guys about what you need to look for and what you need to be throwing when it happens. So we'll get into that today. Also, guys, a couple quick things before we get started. You guys have heard me talking about this new fish scent I've been using called Bait Pop, man. Guys, this is absolutely the best fish scent that I have ever used. It's full of amino acids, natural fish, stays on your bait for like 30 minutes, what you put it on. It was originally designed to help it, I guess I don't use it for that, but on your, live sonar, it helps the bait show up better. But I just use it because the fish like it. I mean, it's like, it's got this really, it's sort of like a creamy, pasty type of a feel to it that stays on there. And when you rub it on your bait, it makes the bait look realistic. I don't know what it is about it, but they love it. So I'll put this in my Tackle Warehouse link in the description, guys, if you guys would like to try a tube of it. You can get it through that link. And also, guys, speaking of my Tackle Warehouse link, Tackle Warehouse has got 25% off on about everything on the site right now. It's a great time to get stocked up on some baits. So again, I'll have that Tackle Warehouse link in the description of this video. Really appreciate that. And guys, thank you everybody that's taken time to hit that subscribe button here at Intuitive Angling and take advantage about joining as a channel member or Patreon member. Really appreciate that. Okay, guys, what I've got here, I've got 4 lures that I want to talk about today. What happens when the water temperature first starts hitting 55 degrees. Now, every month of the year, bass do something a little bit different. There's different transition periods throughout the course of the year. And some of those transition periods are minor. Like, say, for example, when you talk about July, August, and into September, the bass pretty much do the same thing. It's like there's not like a big definitive transition on the areas that they live in or the type of lures that they bite. Not so in the springtime of the year, because when that water temperature hits 55 degrees, in my opinion, guys, this represents the biggest movement or the biggest change in a bass's behavior of any time throughout the course of the year. What happens is when that water temperature starts to hit 55 degrees, and I'm talking about 55 degrees right off the bat in the morning. I'm not talking about, say, for example, the water's 47 degrees when you launch your boat and you go to the back of the cove at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and the sun's been beating down on it and it says 55. That's a fake 55 degree. I'm talking about when you put your boat in the water, even if it's on the main lake, the water temperature is 55 degrees. When this happens, you have a bigger population of bigger fish begin to move shallower than any other time of the year. There's a huge migration of those bigger pre-spawn females that start to move up shallow in less than 10 foot of water in preparation for spawning. It's a pre-spawn staging transition time in bass fishing, and it's the best time of year to catch big fish. I look back at probably 75% of what I consider really big bass I've ever caught in my life, like bass over 7 pounds. And again, I bet 75% of them have come in and around that pre-spawn period when that water temperature is 55 degrees. That's just a great time to go fishing. So I got some baits I want to show you guys that I like. There's 4 different lures that really have worked good for me when that water hits 55. So I'm going to sort of show them to you guys and explain to you guys the situations I fish them in. Okay, the first one, guys, is a big square bill crankbait. This is the Megabass S-Crank 2.0. And guys, I'll link all 4 of these lures in my Tackle Warehouse link in the description of this video if you guys would like to pick a couple up. But a big square bill crankbait is awesome when that water hits 55. Now, a square bill doesn't work that good really if the water temperature is much colder than 55. I mean, I've caught them in 50, low 50s or something like that. But when that water gets 55, the fish really start to get on a square bill crankbait. It sort of hits that right depth zone. And like all the lures we're talking about here, one of the things you'll notice when that water gets 55, they want a bigger bait. They transition from wanting smaller baits in the wintertime to bigger baits during the pre-spawn, and this big square bill crankbait is a really good choice for fishing once that water temperature gets 55. Now, I fish rock exclusively with this thing. This is a bait that I'll crank bluff banks, rocky banks, gravelly banks, riprap banks, any type of rock. I'll make long parallel casts down a rocky bank. I'll usually put it like on 15-pound test Seaguar and VizX and try to really knock that 3 to 5 foot. If you, like with the S-Crank 2.0, on a very long cast, you can hit 5 foot deep with it on 12-pound line. So I'm really wanting to target that 3 to 5 foot zone, and I've also got to have the right water clarity. This is a technique that you've got to have some stained water. So I want water visibility of less than 2.5 foot when I'm fishing the square bill. Ideally, I want water visibility 12 to 15 inches. About a foot, 1.5 feet is perfect for it. But guys, I've caught some big bags of fish like in February and March on a square bill once you start to hitting 55. Okay, the next one is a big spinnerbait. I've been talking about this big spinnerbait deal a lot the last few weeks, but guys, when I hear 55-degree temperature in March, I think big spinnerbait. I've caught, like I said and before, I've caught more big ones on a big spinnerbait probably in March than about any lure. So the spinnerbait is just, I'm gonna slow roll it around whatever cover that I have. If I got a lake that's got some submergent hydrilla or milfoil, slow rolling it over the top of that grass. If I'm in my part of the country here, I'm slow rolling it around the edge of lay down trees or maybe on some channel banks, just, let it slow fall down those channel banks, but just trying to keep it closer to the bottom in less than 5 foot of water. All the baits that I'm talking about here, guys, I catch fish when the water temperature is 55 in 5 foot of water or less. And the spinnerbait too is going to be a better bait if you have a little bit more off-colored water. However, you can also catch some good fish on a spinnerbait in clear water if you have a low light day. Like here in Table Rock, sometimes we'll have 6 to 8 foot of visibility. And if you get a 55-degree water temperature day and like a cloudy, rainy day, they'll hammer a big spinnerbait under those conditions there. So I use a 3/4 ounce spinnerbait with like some type of a large number 6, number 7 blade on it. Okay, the next one is a bladed jig. This is the Earth Shaker, bladed jig, chatterbait, jackhammer, whatever you prefer. A bladed jig stands out big time once that water temperature gets 55. This is a great time to fish a bladed jig. And I like some type of a crawdad pattern, something like a green, brown, orange. I got the Zoom Z Swim on the back of this thing. Any type of a crawdad pattern, orangey, reddish looking bladed jig is gonna work really good in those situations. And the same thing, guys, fish it around whatever cover you have. Over grass beds if you got them, down riprap bank, down rocky banks, around the edge of trees, just whatever you have. Do not pass up a boat ramp. Guys, if you see a boat ramp, throw a bladed jig on a boat ramp and they'll hammer it when the water's 55. And finally, guys, is probably one of my favorites is just the old school jig, my Blaukat Throwback jig, 1/2 ounce, black and blue, what I usually like. This is the black and blue tinsel. By the way, guys, this black and blue tinsel is only available through the Cumberland Pro Lures website. This color, Tackle Warehouse didn't carry it yet, so I'll have that Cumberland Pro Lures website if you want to get some of the tinsel here. Black and blue jig with the blue trailer, guys. And again, off-colored water, flipping it, pitching it around whatever shallow cover. This is one time a year I do catch a lot of fish on jigs, just pitching it to bare banks. So one of my favorite ways to fish a jig this time of year, a full-size one, is I'll get on a bluffy channel type bank that has no wood on it, and I'll just methodically, like every 3 or 4 foot, I'll pitch that jig to the bank and work it down into 5 foot of water or so. Lay down trees is going to be good, stumps, log jams, flooded cover if you have it, docks, anything. But a big full-size jig is a really good bait once that water temperature hits 55. So try to get out there, guys. If I could give you one piece of advice as far as having a great day on the water fishing, is look at the weather forecast and try to pick a day where you think that water temperature's in the mid-50s on a day where you have a normal or above temperature day. Like say there's a front blowing in and the wind's blowing 15 or 20 miles an hour out of the south and it's warmer than normal and maybe it's cloudy. You get out there on a day like that and those big ones will be biting big time on any of these baits I'm talking about here. So hope it helps you guys out. We'll talk later.